street food.
Street foodies, what's up? I got some good news and I got some bad news. Which one do you want to hear first? Actually, I was lying before. I've only got bad news. Brace yourself. What's up, street foodies? Where am I at? I don't know, I'm just...
Snake attack!
Season 7, the wait is over. Not that you've necessarily been waiting, but I mean, I've been waiting. I took a long break this time around, but I mean, you know, I had to make preparations for the best season ever. I had some great plans for this season. We're talking about Xi'an, talking about Chengdu, talking about 100 episodes special. Also, I got a Facebook page now. I try to stay on the cutting edge of the latest trends. Check out the street food page if you want to, you know, interact with the show. Look how happy I was. This season is going to be packed, people. Lost Plate food tours will show us around Xi'an, featuring Bird Street and cricket fighting. You want to see some cricket fighting? The second half of Season 7 will feature various food trucks from around the United States. Jacksonville, South Florida, elsewhere is going down. Yeah, none of that is going to happen. Also, Season 7, Episode 7, things are aligning like the Death Star about to obliterate Yavin 4. I recently suffered a tragic hard drive crash. It's a long story, but I basically went out of my way to straight up assassinate over half of the footage I'd already shot for this season. Lost Plate food tours, besides this one clip, gone. Much of my other China footage, gone. Snacks from over 15 different food trucks and interviews with several proprietors of those food trucks, gone. That time I hung out with my friend Catherine, that's gone too. Look, if you're disappointed, believe two things. Number one, I understand what you're feeling. And number two, what you're feeling pales in comparison to the valley of the shadow of dead hard drives that I have been walking through. It's been some dark days. But look, what's gone is gone, okay? The only thing to do now is to limp slowly forward like some sort of sad badger that has been shot in the leg and is limping off into the woods to die. Hashtag sad badger. Or maybe somehow, sad badger will find the motivation to live again. You know, maybe wherever he is wandering, he will find some more street food. Maybe sad badger will live to snack another day. The badger is me. It's Michelle. So here's where we stand, street foodies. I've got enough footage to get us just past episode 100, okay? We're gonna do it. We're gonna get to 100 episodes. That means I can guarantee you at least 8 or 9 episodes this season, coming out every Friday, and then after that, we're just gonna have to see what the Badger does. So for this, our premiere episode of the season, I wanna tell you about Lost Plate food tours. Actually, let's allow my past self, bursting with optimism, unaware of the coming drive apocalypse, to tell you about Lost Plate food tours. It's like this. You come to Xi'an and you know Xi'an has some bomb food, but you don't speak Chinese. You don't know where the spots are. How are you gonna find that food? If you watch my show, you should have some idea of what to eat, but you might still need some help. Who are you going to call? Lost Plate food tours. Check them out. They have a ton of great reviews up on TripAdvisor, but here's an opinion you can really trust. Mine. Lost Plate is awesome. I've lived in Xi'an for a while, and on the Lost Plate food tour, I tried things that I've never tried before. That ignorant fool. So happy. I had 3 episodes of footage from the Lost Plate food tour featuring over 10 different snacks from the Muslim Quarter in Xi'an. The footage is gone, but here's a rundown of the snacks from that youthfully exuberant schmuck. Check it out. The layers and layers of dough give this snack its nickname, which is Qianseng Bing, 1,000-layer bread. The main ingredient in the fillings are cabbage, leek, and beef. They're spiced in a traditionally hui manner. They tuck all that filling inside and then they roll it up. Then of course they fry them in oil inside one of these giant griddle things. This giant being costs less than $1, okay? The flavor is so rich, so authentic to the area. I've had a lot of these and I have never had one as good as the one I had on my Lost Plate tour. The other guests on the tour liked it as well, and this was just the first snack. We've showed hulatang on this show before. This one was very similar. It's a cornstarch-based soup, so it's kind of sticky. It can go really wrong if you go to a bad spot for it. On top of the soup, they add fresh cilantro and chili oil. Even though the soup is already thick with veggies and cornstarch, you traditionally eat it with a moi. The other guests on the tour weren't all crazy about this soup. It's pretty spicy and it's just not what we're used to eating in the West for breakfast. You've got to develop a taste for it. I like it a lot, though to be fair, it's not what I'd usually pick for breakfast in China, especially if that beef bean was available. Stone bread. Oh hey, I actually have some footage from this one from another video that I had made. They all could have been like this. They heat these smooth black stones, then they roll out some dough and throw circles of it on top. They cover them with more hot stones and then cover the whole thing with a giant lid. They keep it sealed for like 3 or 4 minutes, something like that, and when they open it up, the dough is cooked to a kind of cracker-like consistency. It's fairly simple. It's really good for dipping in soup. They also make a tricked out version of it that's stuffed. The sweet one, which I tried, has a filling of mung bean paste, walnuts, peanuts, sesame, and sunflower seed, all ground up together. As with every place on the Lost Plate food tour, the stone bread here, at this spot, is a cut above the rest of the stone bread you'll find on the street. Apparently, bread used to be made like this all over China, but now Shanxi is one of the only places that still makes it fresh like this. Next we tried some mi gao. You may have heard that they don't really do dessert in China, which is mostly true. And while most of my Chinese friends don't have the sweet tooth that a lot of my Western friends have, there is still such a thing as Chinese sweets. And let me go on record and say this, it's ridiculously sweet. It's crazy sweet. The filling, sugar, obviously, orange peel, rose petal, peanut, sesame, and red date. The outside is made from sticky rice. They fold the rice dough around a generous portion of filling, and then they straight up deep fry that junk. The outside comes out crispy, but the rest of the dough is super gooey, and the filling just melts into a puddle of syrup. It is incredibly rich. It's probably the sweetest thing I've ever eaten in China. It's like so sweet that it's burning my taste buds as I just remember it right now. You know when there's so much sugar, the back of your throat like seals up? It's your body trying to say no, no more, but you just keep doing it? That's what it's like. They make their bread slightly sweet and they cook it upside down in this special oven. They coat one side of the bread with just a little bit of honey and sesame and the other with water. Then they stick the water side to the top of the oven. Boom! Upside down bread. Gaolu Shaobing literally means high oven bread. Out in front of the place, there is this pot. Okay? And this is the first time that I've ever tried the stewed tofu in these pots. I didn't even know it was tofu. These pots they're hard to trust. I mean, I live on the edge, okay? But these things are just, in my opinion, totally off the other side of the cliff. It's just sitting there, stewing on the side of the road all day. A lot of times they don't even make a fresh pot every day. They recycle it in order to intensify the flavor. But look, I went for it, and it was awesome. It was totally worth it. The hard-boiled egg and tofu from this pot of like chili stew was the best part of the sandwich. Texture up here. Okay, combination of flavors up here. All joking aside, I am so bummed that I cannot show you guys the footage from the Lost Plate tour because they are awesome. Please, please show Lost Plate some love. Check out their page on TripAdvisor. They've got a lot of great reviews. If you're ever in Xi'an, definitely hit them up and book a tour. This is officially my favorite thing to do with visitors. You know, if they're dope enough to handle it. Still true. Now all that's left to do is pour one out from my footage. And we're moving on. Next week begins a 3-episode arc in the Sichuan city of Chengdu. There will be pandas. Until next week, eat it on the street and back up your hard drive. Street food. This giant being... Again, this show is so hip to the times. Is on fleek. Some might even say it's... I can't even do it. Some might even say it's on fleek.